And ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you on the live stream back for BLW action here at the Miracle League of Arizona in Scottsdale, Arizona. We have Team Connor Jaso versus Team Tommy Hernandez, the top two vote getters in the BLW All Star voting. We thank you for everybody who voted for the All Star Game selections. We'll go through these rosters as they come up. Reed Warner on the mound from the New York Green Apples. He's on the mound, and he's going to be facing off against this loaded lineup for Team Tommy to get us started in the game. We're playing a 6-inning All-Star game with different rule sets as we go. As many of you know that are watching, this summer, BLW will be moving to a speed-monitored league in the summertime. So all these players are going to get used to a different rule set, and we're using this day to kind of decide what is that sweet spot for the miles per hour. Our pitching mound has been moved up 3 feet from 48 during the fast pitch realm all the way to 45. So Reed Warner out there is going to be pitching from 45 feet, and he must, in these first couple innings we're going to play, all pitchers must throw 72 miles an hour or under. If they throw at least 1 mile an hour over, that is going to be an automatic ball. No warnings, no extra penalties like that, just an automatic ball. We still play a 4-3 count, and here we go, folks. Reed Warner on the mound. Out there, Mike Whitty and Vin Lee and Randy Dalby out there. We're going to be throwing across the diamond for the field, and up first for Team Tommy Hernandez is Dustin Staggs of the Las Vegas Scorpions.
Yeah, bro, I'm letting my phone charge so that it'll be full and we can just go around.
Just in between your names.
In between the first name? Yeah. We thank you for joining us on the live stream here at BLW YouTube. Thank you for everybody that joined us yesterday for the playoffs. What playoff games we had indeed. Working their way all the way from the play-in game. The Las Vegas Whifflers, they won this league last year, and they are back for back-to-back victories as they will face off against the Los Angeles Naturals, who have won 3 of the 4 fast-pitch tournaments in BLW this season. It is a matchup that everybody expected and everybody wants to see. A lot of predictions in the pundits. First pitch in the new era.
I like that swing. Hey, you got metal.
71? 71 miles an hour to start for Reed Warner, right at the limit there. Right through is Dustin Staggs on the swing. It was a nice riser from Reed Warner. Reed's going to have to pull it back. Oh, and a drop ball. Gets it there in the 60s. Look at this. Dustin Staggs gives a little, okay, we see you now. Reed Warner pitching very well. 2 straight strikes. I don't know if we expected this, folks. I almost expected a lot of balls, a lot of walks in this first one as he gets used to it. And on the top of the zone, Reed Warner looking like a veteran out there. I don't even know if Reed expected that. Strikeout swinging for Dustin Staggs. And next up is Brody Livingston for Team Tommy. Brody Livingston, the all-star from the Dallas Pandas. Ball 1, watches that go outside. Brody plays in a lot of different leagues across the country. He's played in speed monitor leagues that have been lower than this, that have been around the same amount of miles per hour, and also a fantastic fast pitch player in his own right. He actually pitched the most innings pitched in BLW this season as he hacks one foul. My apologies, folks, as I pull up the scoreboard here. I was on the wrong one for you. We have, top of the first inning, 1 out here and a 1-1 count for Brody Livingston. Another beautiful day, stagnant wind, nothing at all. It's a perfect day for wiffle ball. Music is playing. Fans are in attendance here at the Miracle League of Arizona. 68 there from Reed Warner. Reed is humming well. And you may see to yourself, you know, this looks like it's coming in fast. Well, you are a little bit closer than you're used to in the fast pitch realm of things. Tries a knuckle drop there, 2-2 count. Reed Warner, I don't think I expected a 1-2-3 inning, but he's well on his way if he can get Brody out here. Here's the pitch. A swing and straight 2. What a cover from Reed Warner, and gets him! Unbelievable play. Reed Warner playing his position well. What a great play there. Ground ball to Vin Lee, who's playing at the second base position, and turns the play. That's the action that we are so excited for this summer.
You got that outside back. That's so sick. Yeah, you guys can run through that.
Unbelievable play. Brings up Preston Colm.
Hey, we implement that.
Preston Coleman, one of those players that didn't get as many licks in the fast pitch style for the Las Vegas Scorpions, but he is one of those players that definitely could make a huge impact in this game for this medium pitch. Here's a ground ball straight to Reed. Reed makes a play, but overthrows. What a play going to his right. That was Reed Warner. One-handed snag and throw, but you got to get the right grip on that ball, and Reed's going to get used to that there. Reed is used to the style where you play something called pitcher's poison, where you throw just to the pitcher's mound to get the out at first. Brings up Josh Wheeler. Josh Wheeler right to Randy Dalby for the out, and that'll do it for the top of the first inning. And we're going to stop for a quick picture, everybody, for the... After the pictures, ladies and gentlemen, we are back in action here on the live stream. What action in the first inning. You love to see it. You see a strikeout, you see a ground out to the second baseman, you see a single for Preston Colm, and then you see the ground out to third, unassisted, to the first baseman for Josh Wheeler, and that'll do it for the first inning in the books in this new style. Brody Livingston now will have to deal with the 72 miles an hour, and he's facing off against a roster. Randy Dalby, Vin Lee, and Jordan Robles will be the first three up for Team Jaso. Brody Livingston for the Dallas Pandas this past year in fast pitch went 7-4, a 2.13 ERA, batting average of 129 against, and a 60% Ks, about 60% of the time he strikes out hitters. Brody Livingston, a fantastic player in fast pitch, but honestly, this is a style that Brody can really excel in. Brody is one of the players that is entering the BLW draft that will be happening in just a few weeks here on April 11th, Saturday, April 11th. It'll be live on this same YouTube. We'll be doing the draft from Scottsdale, Arizona. There'll be 2 rounds, and it is action-packed. Over 150 applicants, so many players around the country. Excited to see where not only Brody falls, but so many players as well.
I'm just going to yell at Jake. Jake! I will just do it.
Meeting of the mound here, Brody Livingston. Preston Colm out there with Dustin Staggs and Tommy Hernandez captain out in the outfield. The fielding is going to be what's most fun to watch today, and the base running. Randy Dalby has not done a lot of base running in his time as a wiffle ball player. Oh my. 69 miles an hour from Brody Livingston. It looks like it's coming in at 90, honestly. It's a little bit closer. The movement is still happening even at 69 miles an hour from Brody. Strike one, and the knuckleball at 59. An incredible start here from Brody Livingston, 1-1 count. Pitch from Brody Riser. Oh, gets off the knob. It's going to be tough for Brody. And Randy doesn't have too much speed, but he makes it there. This might be the second time that Randy Dalby has played in an actual event that has base running. So it's going to be exciting to see Vin Lee swings through that one. 68 miles an hour. Brody throws a lot of strikes from any style. He knows exactly when he can place the ball anywhere he'd like. Brody Livingston from the left side. Randy Dalby on first. Fouls it off from Vinley. There's no leadoffs in wiffle ball. There's no stealing, but you can take off as soon as contact happens. Gentleman's game here. Randy Dalby staying on the base until contact. Pitch for Vin Lee. Ooh, a nice pitch to Vin Lee, but just over the zone. 1-2 count here. No outs in Brody's first attempt here on the mound. 72 miles an hour. Tries a little knuckle drop for another ball. Teams are really going to have to start paying attention to the speed gun here, the radar. Got to pay attention. Swings through it at 67 miles an hour. Take it home. Brody Livingston for the first out of his All-Star Game career, I guess you could say, in this style. Jordan Robles now up. One of the most famous wiffle ball players in the world. Jordan Robles. He goes deep and off the wall it goes. Does not run it out as he knows Randy Dalby can't go too far. I mean, that's a triple and fast pitch, but Jordan did not get all of that. First and second we go as Randy was running with one out. What a swing from Jordan Robles. This is a style he is familiar with. Connor Jaso going the other way. Dustin cannot get their foul ball. Jordan Robles with a single moves over Randy Dalby. Connor Jaso, the MVP of BLW Fast Pitch, an incredible two-way player in the fast pitch realm, looking to make a splash here in the speed monitored style that will be headed to this summer. Swings through that one, another foul ball, another great pitch from Brody Livingston. On deck, Reed Warner, probably the most experienced yellow bat pitcher at a high level. Through the legs goes Brody Livingston. You're going to see a lot more fun action that you see here. This yellow bat base running style is so much more exciting, so much more fun to watch. Out here, there's action all around. In the top of the zone. I don't think it read on the radar gun, unfortunately, on that one. Strikeout number 2. Reed Warner. Here he comes. He is a 3-time national champ in the yellow bat style base running. And he does it at the fast pitch side of things. Nice swing as it comes into the booth for strike 1. The lone Green Apple All-Star definitely deserved it. Having an incredible year on both sides of the ball for the Green Apples. Green Apples came up short in the semifinals. 1-0 loss to the Las Vegas Whifflers, who will be playing tomorrow. A nice watch there. Nice irises from Reed Warner as he'd like to score that run from Randy Dalby. I believe Reed Warner is mic'd up this inning. Big swing and a miss. He was already looking over the fence on that one. Strike 2. One and 2 count to Reed. Here we go. Oh, a knuckleball from Brody Livingston over the zone.
Oh, you guys are gonna. Okay.
Reed Warner, the Green Apples All-Star. He's just bought his new shoes with the lime green apple color. The pitch just over the zone. That'll bring us to full count, ladies and gentlemen. Full count, 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning. 2 men on. Reed Warner would like to do some damage here with the yellow. Again, probably the most experienced yellow bat hitter at a big stage. Here's the pitch from Brody. Down the middle, fouls it off into the zone. And that'll do it. Not a clean inning from Brody Livingston, but gets out of it nonetheless. We'll head to the top of the second inning. We thank you for joining us on the live stream BLW All Star Game here in Scottsdale, Arizona. And we're back for second half action. Steve Hayden up for the Las Vegas Scorpions. Reed Warner back on the mound after fouling off the pitch into the zone. An unfortunate way to end it there. First and second were the runners that were left stranded. Oh, and a big drop ball from Reed Warner. Steve Hayden, nickname of the year, Big Sexy, as they like to call him. Got the shades on and the Oreo socks. Ground ball. Reed Warner knocks it down himself. A nice underhand play to Mike Whitty. And that'll do it. First out. What a play from Reed Warner to knock it down. A 1-3 in the book for the first out. Reed Warner playing his position very well. And I think people are taking notice. I mean, this is like Gold Glove material there at the pitcher's mound. I really hope BLW goes to a position-by-position Gold Glove, just like the major leagues do. There's so many great fielders in this league. Oh, here we go. Out number 1 in the books already, and a ball straight. Tommy Hernandez tattoos that ball. Oh my gosh, it tacos indeed, but it's out right to Jordan Robles at the left field shortstop-ish position. We're going to have to figure out what works best in the book on this, but I'm just going to call it a 7 for left field. 2 outs, 1-2 so far, as throwing a warm-up pitch to see how it works after the tacoing. When it inverts itself after a hard hit, called a taco, because it kind of bends to a taco format. Reed Warner back on the mound. Dustin Staggs, strikeout in his first at-bat. Ooh, and a big one. Hideo Nomo style straight to Vinley. In the outfield, 1-2-3 goes Team Tommy. A nice inning from Reed Warner. You got to believe his day might be done, but he might be able to go one more. We'll see. Bottom of the second, we're headed there, folks, here at Scottsdale, Arizona, the Miracle League of Arizona. And we have a pitching change all ready to start us off. Brody Livingston comes out, and Steve Hayden will take the mound for the Las Vegas Scorpions and Team Tommy here at the All Star Game for BLW. All right, folks, here we go. Back at it for the bottom of the second inning here as a 1-2-3 for Reed Warner on the mound. Mike Whitty is up to the plate, the lefty, and a lot of people won't know Mike Whitty as the hitter. He won the Cy Young Award, the best pitcher in BLW this past year, and he just pitched an incredible semifinal match to take his team to the finals coming up tomorrow at Salt River Field. I don't think he's going to get a time on the mound tomorrow, unfortunately. I think he threw everything he could yesterday, but Mike Whitty's going to get a chance to prove himself as a hitter right now. Great contact hitter for his home league in Indiana. Here today to continue that on for the Naturals. And here's the ground ball slap hitter. I don't know if you're going to get him out with his speed. Oh, and they do. That's an out. I think he got him. Nice play by Dustin Staggs. Gets the out. What a play from Dustin Staggs. And this is what's so exciting about this style. This style is an intense way to play this game. It is constant movement from not only the hitters hitting the ball, but the fielders. There's so much more action in play. It's not just strikeouts and walks that you see much of the time in the fast pitch realm. And that big hit. Nice play from Dustin Staggs again. Wow. Call that a 5-3, I guess. Randy Dalby a single in his last at-bat. Randy Dalby definitely one of those guys that is not used to running, and he looked like it running to first after his single. Pitch to Randy, fouls it off. Steve Hayden pitching well here. Teams have to pay attention to the speed gun. I don't know how that's going to work when it's live this summer, but a lot of leagues will have the offensive team be the one that's in charge of looking at that because there is a penalty for throwing over the 72. I was 72 on the noggin. So Steve Hayden, a lot of times in a speed monitor league, you're going to see those riser pitchers are going to be the ones that get dinged for the penalty as the walk to Randy Dalby brings up Vin Lee. Randy Dalby with a 1,000 on-base percentage right now. Vin Lee strikeout in his last at-bat. You know, I'd like to change that here in the 2-hole. Swinging and a look there on a 67 miles an hour from Steve Hayden on the slider. Still a 72 mile an hour speed limit. Pitch from way behind on that slider. Behind Vin Lee. It's interesting to see the different bat styles. Everybody using the yellow bat, but stickers are allowed and tape is allowed to a certain extent. And it's going to be interesting to see what's decided upon as a rule. What a play. Steve Hayden throws to a... Oh my gosh, they try for the double play. A nice play from Steve Hayden. The fielder's choice to Tommy Hernandez. Jordan Robles up to the plate, had a huge shot to the wall. Single in his last at-bat, almost hit a home run. Knuckleball from Steve Hayden for strike one. 2 outs in the inning. Tommy Hernandez getting his camera time, talking to Steve Hayden with a smile on his face. Nice pitch from Steve Hayden. In the 60s, though, so he's good. It's going to be fun to see these pitchers. Who's going to emerge as those top pitchers in the league for all of these teams? I mean, the aces could absolutely change for many of these franchises as Steve Hayden looking to make a case for the Scorpions. Pitch to Jordan, and there it is. A nice pitch at 69 miles an hour. 2-2 count here. Pitch, and not going to do. Full count here. Full count, 2 outs in the bottom of the second. Runner on first base. Jordan Robles single his last at-bat, and here he walks. A nice eye from Jordan Robles. First and second we go as Jordan and Vin on the base paths. And look who's up, Mr. MVP himself, the captain of this All-Star game, the leading vote getter, Connor Jaso. Oh, and a nice play. Can he get there? Preston Colm makes the play as they almost run into each other, and that's an out. Nice play from Preston Colm. That'll take us to the top of the third inning.
Hello, dearie. Hi. The scoreboard is not like
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen, for the top of the third inning here at the All-Star Game. The only rule change you need to know about here on the live stream is we are changing from 72 miles an hour to 75. It's going to be a little more difficult for the hitters. It'll stay at the 45 feet, too, so it's going to get hot out there. That Arizona heat is going to continue to get even hotter here from these pitchers throwing a little bit faster. You wouldn't think 3 miles an hour would do much difference, but as you saw in those first two innings, those pitchers were kind of hovering around the 67 to 69 miles an hour. There was only a few times that they got up to 71, 72. Let's see what Reed Warner does with pitch number 1 to Brody. 72 miles an hour, taken the other way, home run. Ladies and gentlemen, see ya later. Brody Livingston hits the first home run and the first run of the BLW All Star Game. Brody Livingston, no stranger to big moments, and does it there for Team Tommy. Huge home run. I'm good. Thank you so much.
Team Tommy scored.
Team Tommy. 1-0 your score. Team Tommy in the early lead with a huge solo home run from Brody Livingston. Not something that Reed Warner does a lot in his fast pitch career. But this is a lot different of a game. That was a 72 mile an hour pitch, so that would have even worked last inning. But these players are starting to see Reed a little bit. You wonder if Team Connor Jaso is going to make a change. Preston Colm now up. Preston Colm, 18 years young, playing this game. Swings through that one, foul ball. One of the best young players in the world, Preston Colm. Didn't get a lot of playing time on the Scorpions. He was kind of a pool play guy, got some innings here and there in double elimination bracket as their 4 Scorpion hitters were the main stalwart, but it was enough on the mound to earn Preston Colm a trip to the All-Star Game for the voters. Well-deserved indeed.
Oh, way to wear it, Colm. 97, dude. Wow, way to wear that.
One of the more underrated players in BLW. 77, and there's your first warning, and it ends up being a walk.
Let's go, Josh.
We're going to add a 7 in. So it's going to have 72, 3, 75, 3, 78, 7.
Oh, they're playing 72. They've switched to 75 already.
We'll do 4 and 75. But we're doing a 7.
7th what?
7th inning. They all want a 7th.
How's that for representing yard?
You're supposed to catch my throw right to you.
Josh Wheeler up from the Philadelphia Wiffle Club. Tell you what, Josh Wheeler of the Philly Wiffle Club, actually one of the more underrated players this season as well. Philly Wiffle Club was the #1 seed in the first tournament and then had some troubles making every other tournaments in the fast pitch realm, but they were right there. Josh Wheeler, huge bright spot for the Philly Wiffle Club franchise. Can you believe it, folks? This is Josh Wheeler's first season in fast pitch wiffle ball ever. He has never played wiffle ball, and Josh Wheeler skies it high, and it's going to drop. It gets into the sun, and oh my gosh, I don't know. I think he's out. I think he's out. Preston Colm called it out too. It was an out. His foot was up, and what a play. Randy Dalby, Vin Lee have a little miscommunication, but a nice play gets the out. Fielder's choice it ends up being.
Go, Steven. Oh, that's a good pitch.
Steve Hayden now back up to the plate. We got a runner on first here as Preston Colm gets gunned out. Like a Vladimir Guerrero situation out there, gunning him out at second. And this is the excitement that this style brings. Pitch and a swing and a miss from Steve Hayden. Reed hoping that that 77 mile an hour walk doesn't come back to bite him there. Nice pitch from Reed Warner. Outside pipe he goes and gets the strikeout. 2 outs in the inning now. Tommy Hernandez, he was up for Silver Slugger Award, had a fantastic fast pitch season, and really came onto the scene this year in wiffle ball in general. One of the biggest personalities that you will see in wiffle ball. Incredible human being, Tommy Hernandez, incredible hitter, going to make waves and splashes all over the place the next couple of years, not only in BLW, but across the country. Just as a person, human being, personality in the sport, BLW is lucky to have him as one of the faces of the league. Warner tries to drop it low. You need something for me? And then the home run derby, yep.
And it starts at what time?
Right after this.
Okay, and we don't need to keep score from that. So maybe y'all will keep your own.
Yep, you're correct. Pitch to Tommy Hernandez, just misses the zone there. 3-1 count. There's no backstop right now, so this is a wide open press box. I really got to pay attention here as the cameras and everything up here need to be protected. A nice pitch, top of the zone from Reed Warner. Full count, 2 outs for Tommy Hernandez. Team Tommy already has their run. I don't think 1 run's going to be enough here, honestly, folks, as we're going 7 innings in this All-Star game. Fouls it off Tommy Hernandez. Tommy getting himself hype. There was a trash talking award, and Tommy Hernandez actually had a lot of votes for being so positive of a trash talker. And he does it. Could it go the other way? Connor does not going to dive on this surface and picks it up, holds the runners. Little single for Tommy Hernandez here. Josh Wheeler heads on to second base, and that'll bring up Dustin Staggs. Everybody in the lineup for Team Tommy has hit this inning. Dustin Staggs, the last one of the 6 to hit. Hit low. Reed Warner's call on the mound, and a little gentleman's, that was low, hit the leg. 1-0. Runner in scoring position now. We'll see how fast he's going to move on this surface. This is around possibly the same type of surface. We're not announcing any of the venue or anything yet for BLW this summer, but it won't be on grass, we'll say that. Swing and a miss as Josh Wheeler leads off illegally at second base there. Rule is in wiffle ball, you can't come off the bag until contact, but Josh Wheeler, I guess, needs that extra boost for himself. Strike 2, and Reed Warner sees it. It's too hot. Ball 2 instead. Dustin Radar with elite radar knowledge right now. That's a lie. I don't think he expected that at all. And there's that pitch that Reed has really been working into counts. That drop ball's nice. Fits into the speed limit, under 72 even. Front office is in attendance today, and they're kind of testing to see what's the right speed for this. Is it a 72? Is it something a little bit higher? Who knows? But this is what this All-Star game is helping us figure out. Strike 3, Dustin Staggs gets Reed Warner out of the inning. Only 1 run, but the Brody Livingston home run is exactly what Team Tommy needed to get on the board. 1 run across for Team Tommy as Connor Jaso's All-Star squad will come up in the bottom of the 3rd. Steve Hayden still up to the plate. And Steve Hayden still on the mound for Team Tommy as Reed Warner will get his next crack at it with 3 miles an hour still left. Reed a strikeout. He actually fouled it off into the zone. Pitch to Reed down the middle. This time he's over 70. He's getting there. Hayden's starting to find that sweet spot that he can pitch through. Oh, Reed actually ahead of that one as he slowed that one down to 66. 2 strikes now.
Come on, Reed. Wind your way on.
Reed Warner definitely has the experience, knows what strikes are going to be. Fouls that one off. A nice fight off there from Reed Warner. That was a beautiful pitch from Steve Hayden. I don't think it would have hit the zone, but it was too close of a call coming through, crossing the plane there. Pitch to Reed. Knuckleball, nasty. Oh my gosh, Reed looks back like, where was that? That was a nasty knuckleball, and you're going to see a lot of pitchers pull those out this year as Reed Warner strikes out on the first nasty knuckleball that we've seen. Mike Whitty now coming up to the plate, hit it down the line to Dustin Staggs, and the speed of Mike Whitty is something that his teammates from Indianapolis all say he definitely has in the yellow bat base running style. But Dustin Staggs over there at the shortstop third base position gunned him down. See what Whitty can do here. Nice hitter's count for Mike Whitty. Whitty definitely one of the lower at bats total for any team this year, as he was mostly a PO for the Naturals. Ooh, nice drop ball. Mike Whitty, definitely a great hitter. They call him a slap hitter, and he slapped it down the line there in the last inning. Let's see what he can do, get around on one here. Oh my gosh, and a drop ball tips. 2 tips on that one, folks. And camaraderie is high here at the BLW All Star Game. Full count now to Mike Whitty. This is something they do not want the speed of Mike Whitty on the base. Mike Whitty looking forward. And he does it. Hits him in the shoulder. Watch it now, Big Sexy. Mike Whitty on first base. Speed on the base paths now. He can't have any stolen bases or leadoffs, but he's definitely a guy you will have trouble getting out at second unless it's close by. Not going to turn 2 on Mike Whitty probably as well, unless it's right next to the bag. Randy Dalby, maybe one of the slower runners of the BLW League, so it's going to have to be really close to second base to turn 2 for Tommy Hernandez. Randy Dalby, though, 1 for 1, also with a walk, so 1,000 on-base percentage. Randy Dalby, one of the more decorated and known wiffle ball players in the country. One of the more experienced players here in the All-Star Game. Maybe the most experienced player in the All-Star Game. Take that back. Randy Dalby skies one high foul. I don't know if Randy Dalby really wants to be base running. I'm not going to lie to you folks. I think he maybe wishes there was more of a pinch runner rule somewhere along the line, but I'll tell you what, he has been on base both times though. And there it is. This is going to get interesting, folks. That's almost, that's a nice play from Steve Hayden. That's what you want to do. Mike Whitty almost was going that way. What a hit. And this comes an interesting scenario. Do we put a dead zone out? Do we put a bunt line somewhere in the future? Because that's a tough play for anybody to make. And with no catcher, you almost need some type of bunt line there. A bunt line, folks, would be like a semicircle in front. That's something that, the leadership of BLW is going to have to take into account. We're loving being able to see all these scenarios play out in our heads, taking notes as we go along. In the booth we go. Thank you so much. Here we go. Vin Lee Back up to the plate here. Ball outside. Vin Lee 0 for 2. You know we'd like to change that himself. He's the leadoff hitter for the Naturals fast pitch team. Batting second here behind Randy Dalby in the All-Star game. Pitch from Steve Hayden. Fouls it off. That was just like a protect the face situation. The yellow bats, people call them the skinny bat. So for them to foul one off for protection, I mean, he had to have that with his hands in the right spot there. Pitch from Steve with 2 strikes. Swing and a miss from Vin Lee. Strikeout, out number 2, as Team Jaso does not want to leave 2 guys stranded back-to-back innings. But this is the guy you one up. Jordan Robles, 1 for 1 with a big single out, hit the wall. And a walk, his last at bat. Suda swings at the first one, foul ball. The Natural star, he'll be the captain of the Naturals next year for the Los Angeles franchise. Tons of football experience in every style imaginable. It's one of those adaptable players in any situation, both sides of the ball. And that is an impressive feat in this game, as so many players specialize in one style. You're really going to see how it plays out, the uniqueness of this league, having the medium style in the summer, leading to the fast pitch tournaments in the winter. Wiffle ball all year long, and we're going to see it at the highest level in both seasons. 3-1 count here from Jordan Robles. Steve Hayden does not want to put the bases loaded here with guess who up after this? MVP himself, Connor Jaso. I kind of had a feeling Jordan wasn't going to swing at that one. He knows who's behind him. He really wants to get on base. Yeah, he knows himself there, laughing at it. It's a good pitch from Steve Hayden, though. Dropped in, and this is the biggest pitch of the game so far. And the pitch, low, and what a take from Jordan Robles. And here we go, folks. Buckle up. We got an at-bat for you here. Captain Tommy Hernandez looks a little worried out there in center field, directing Preston Colm a little bit, as lefty Connor Jaso comes up after the walk. Here we go. First pitch, just outside. Here we go. Steve Hayden and Connor Jaso are teammates in one of the national tournaments around the country, and now facing off in the biggest moment of the All-Star game so far. Here's the pitch. Drop ball. Connor thought it was going to drop a little more. Steve, nice pitch from him. Leaving that up in the zone, out of the zone. Connor Jaso sporting the pink bat. Ground ball. Right to Steve Hayden. Flips it to Preston Colm before the out. Gets out of the humongous jam. Steve Hayden leaves the bases loaded. 5 runners left on base the past 2 innings for the Natural Connor Jaso team. Let's see if we have a mound switch here. That'll do us. 3 innings in the books. We'll head to the top of the 4th inning. Team Tommy versus Team Jaso. We'll see you back for 4th inning action coming at you. All right, we're back for fourth inning action here at the Miracle League of Arizona, and a special treat here halfway through this game. The Vin Scully, the self-proclaimed Vin Scully of wiffle ball, everyone. We have Jason Rose in the booth with us. Jason, thanks so much for joining us.
Sam, it's a pleasure, and I first want to ask, we have an all-star game here, but who is the most handsome all-star?
Oh my gosh, that is too close to call. I mean, I feel like there's so many handsome players out there, and they're all handsome for so many reasons, I feel like, but you kind of have to go with our last pitcher. His nickname is Big Sexy for a reason, Jason.
You're going with Steve Hayden as the most handsome American wiffle ball player. Sam, that's a shock right out of the chute.
Well,
I kind of am partial to Brody Livingston's mustache.
Okay. As he continues to grow his hair out and mustache out at the same time.
Also, Sam, let me ask you, because you're more familiar with American wiffle ball than I. My announcing has primarily been in Arizona. What is a Vin Lee?
A Vin Lee?
What is a Vin Lee?
The action or the player?
The player.
Oh,
what is
okay.
a Vin Lee?
Vin Lee is the New York-based wiffle ball player that you see on the mound right now. But I love your use of it as if it's a possible noun, not a person, but a place or a thing.
Or an adjective if he's really good.
That's true. We could Vin Lee this thing right now.
We could. And while we're at it, Sam, what is a skibby?
See, it's a lot of times people think it's either underwear or peanut butter, depending on how you're saying it.
It'd be weird if it was both.
Yeah, well, What just happened here?
Sam, I know you've been to Arizona a number of times. What do you think of this setting, huh?
Love the setting.
Those are the McDowell Mountains, 20,000 acres that the city of Scottsdale taxed itself to preserve.
This is such a beautiful location, and my wife loves to say that her spirit animal is palm trees. So being able to see palm trees in the distance, palm trees behind us, and then the mountains backdrop, you can't get any better here. Really incredible setup here for the Miracle League of Arizona at Dan Heron Field in Scottsdale, Arizona. Jason Rose, Sam Skibby, live on the coverage of the BLW All Star Game as Preston Colm swings through that one. As he got Vin Lee there, as you would say, Jason.
Now let's Sam stir it up a little bit. Many people say Jordan Robles is the premier American wiffle ball player. He's an all-star here today.
Yep.
Do you agree with that assessment or don't agree with that assessment?
I think from a standpoint of not just on the play on both sides of the field from any style, but as a personality and a face of the entire. As Preston Cole fouls, hits a hard line drive, and that'll be a ground rule double for Preston Colm as it hits under the flap of the outfield fence. Preston Colm hitting the ball hard. We say Jordan Robles, Jason, as one of the best overall players in the country, one of the most well-known players in the country, but Preston Colm, probably one of the best young players in the country, just hit that double there. Runner on second.
Yes, he beat my sons a couple of times in York, as a matter of fact. I remember him well.
Yes. This past year, Preston Colm was the U17 national champion and the MVP of that tournament as well. Josh Wheeler, a Missouri brethren of mine, the lone Philadelphia Wiffle Club member of the All Star Game.
And I think there's some rumblings he may be taking the mound the next inning, too.
Love to hear it. I heard that from Tommy Hernandez from across as well. I believe that's going to happen. Josh Wheeler has not pitched today, or yesterday during playoffs, so he is fresh. Josh Wheeler again to the wall, and that'll stop there. Josh Wheeler tries to wheel it out. He probably could have made it at that point. Back-to-back hits to the same part of the wall. Preston Coleman, Josh Wheeler. Welcome to the All-Star Game, Mr. Wheeler.
And this is your Big Sexy, Steve Hayden, or
It's
he's
not
the
my
Big Sexy?
It's
Okay.
America's Big Sexy.
America's Big Sexy.
Nickname of the year for Steve Hayden in all of wiffle ball.
Funny that's a similar nickname in this part of the world. We have a polo announcer named Steve Lewandowski who announces our fall polo event, the most attended polo event in the United States. It happens just 5 minutes from here, and we call him the Big Sexy.
Okay. I'm sure it's a common nickname for a similar stature of man. Reed Warner with some heads-up baseball IQ transferring to wiffle ball here. With this base running style, with the fielding coming into play so much now, you almost have to have that baseball IQ and transfer it here because they're throwing across the diamond just like they would in the majors.
Sam, who is the youngest player out here today and who is the oldest player?
The oldest player is going to be Randy Dalby out there on
At
the All-Star
65
field.
years old. He gets meals for half price.
That's true. ARP came in early for Randy Dalby. And then you have, I believe it's going to be Preston Colm over there at third base. Just turned 18, Preston Colm. So a wide range of ages here. Tommy Hernandez swings through it.
I did feel that we needed to card him at U17 in York.
Yeah. Right on that line. But yes, senior in high school, turned 18.
Now, Sam, as an announcer and enthusiast.
Hello, and look at that. Welcome to the booth, Jason Rose.
Who is a player that you think should be here that is not here?
It's a great question. A lot of players that were underrated, and I feel like you're not going to agree with me a little bit too, but especially later on in the season, your son, Logan Rose, could have been one of those underrated players, most improved player of the league.
Started to hit very well.
Yes.
Started to hit very well,
At the end
that's
of
for sure.
that, he was one of the reasons why.
Good to know
the
that brown
Pandas-
nosing is alive and well in the booth, too.
And I think he definitely could have had an opportunity to represent the Pandas along with Brody Livingston as well. But there's some other players who fouls it off from Tommy Hernandez.
Now, Sam, let me ask you this. So there was a big Fanatics put on a big flag football competition.
Okay.
And the amateurs, the best, the non-professional football players really took it to
The NFL players.
The NFL players.
Yeah.
If there were a game between MLB players and these players out here, pick any five, and they went up against Ohtani, Aaron Judge, Mike Trout, whoever, and a couple of good pitchers.
Okay.
What do you think would happen?
In wiffle ball or baseball? Hopefully wiffle ball. In a wiffle ball game, if it was, let's say it was a 3-game series, and I think that the wiffle ball team would sweep and possibly mercy rule the Major League Baseball players every time.
I agree with that.
It is such a different game, and you see Major League Baseball players in different events. They try to face off against some of these players. Even BLW themselves have gone out and faced some Arizona Diamondbacks during spring training, and it is just a different game, and they are flabbergasted with what this ball can do and how it can move. Top of the fourth comes to a close, and here we are in the bottom of the fourth inning, and we do have a new pitcher on the mound. Josh Wheeler, in from all the way from Missouri, Philadelphia Wiffle Ball Club captain himself. Had a great season for the Philly Wiffle Club, especially in tournament number 1. Led his team, and he is one of the lone players that can say he has beat the Los Angeles Naturals. His Philadelphia Wiffle Club beat them in the first tournament, and he hit the home run that did the trick. So Josh Wheeler also with a single in that last one. And this is his first, I said it earlier, Jason, you weren't in the booth. This is his first year of fast pitch wiffle ball ever. He's never played competitive wiffle ball in his life, and this is his first year. And look at him, he's an all-star in BLW.
So going back to our previous discussion then, do you think a great Major League pitcher within a very, very short amount of time could be very competitive against any of these players or any of these teams?
I do. I think they can be competitive. I think they can figure out one pitch, right? I think they could possibly take their velo that they already have, take their approach to the game that a lot of these pitchers can do, and if they put in the work to it, the problem is I don't think you're going to see any players that put in that work, right? They're not going to risk hurting their arm with this very light ball. So you're not going to see a lot of pitchers that are going to go for it. Could I see a position player possibly developing and doing that? Yeah, absolutely. But it'd be hard-pressed to find a pitcher that would probably put in the work to make that jump. I would love to see, going back to my St. Louis roots, as Reed Warner takes a big hack from Josh Wheeler.
That was on the swing.
I would love to see Adam Wainwright as a pitcher, retired
Adam
pitcher.
Wainwright.
Would love to see a 12-6 curveball from Adam Wainwright with a wiffle ball. Would love to see him come out and try his hand at this sport. He's retired. He can put in the work.
That could be the future of the league.
Maybe
You just
go
never
after
know.
retired
You never
wiffle ball
know.
or retired Major League Baseball players. Reed Warner, a lot of experience at this yellow bat style. Josh Wheeler trying to find it like 76 miles an hour. So trying to find the zone. Josh Wheeler can normally pitch in the upper 80s, low 90s in the fast pitch realm. Looking to find 75 right at speed is Josh Wheeler.
Oh, sorry.
And the music's back. Tries to cut down low. 74. Josh Wheeler hovering around that penalty speed. Full count here to Reed Warner. Reed Warner, 2 strikeouts so far in his All-Star game, and watches that one go by. Huge leadoff there for Team Jaso in the bottom of the 4th inning. Runner on first.
Sam, of all the tournaments that you participated in this year, Scottsdale, Dallas, Chicago, Los Angeles, now back again at this venue, which is different than Scottsdale Stadium, which is your favorite and why?
From a playing standpoint and from a quote unquote vacation standpoint, I'm very partial to LA, simply because my New York Green Apples made it to the finals. I had a big hit in the semifinals, kind of gave the most to my team that tournament, but also my wife got to come out with me that tournament, so it was nice to have her come out. We had the kids stay with grandma and grandpa, and she got to have a little vacation. We stayed an extra day in LA. Other than that, my other one would be the first Scottsdale tournament. Just the start of the season. There was nothing better, kind of that opening day mentality. Beautiful weather coming from the winter of all these Midwest and East areas. So I think those first 2 were very partial to me. Or those first 2, excuse me. Josh Wheeler having trouble. There's another penalty there to Mike Whitty.
And what do you think about having the 2 hardest throwers in American wiffle ball in the same team? Is that in need of a team that needs to be broken up? Does Commissioner Logan Rose need to intervene and put his finger on the scale, or what are your thoughts there?
If the league continued in the fast pitch dominance that the Naturals showed this past year, I feel like something would have possibly needed to be done. But moving to this speed limit, medium style, whatever you want to call it, I feel like it's going to bring down and bring the competitive level more parity in the league that's needed. So you might not see as many natural wins coming in this medium style.
Have you been surprised that even with the speed limit here today, we haven't seen more runs?
I have been. I think this 1-0 is surprising. We've had a lot of people on base, a lot of action on the base paths, a lot of action in the field, but it's not resulted in the runs that we were expecting, I'm pretty sure. Not a 1-0 game in the 4th inning, I can tell you that. How many tournaments did you attend this year, Jason?
All 5.
All 5.
All
and
5.
Which one was your favorite out of all of them? Let's ask the question to you as a spectator.
I thought the Dallas venue was fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, it was an amazing venue. That Rough Rider Stadium is something to behold.
Got lucky on the weather in LA.
Yeah.
You can never go wrong being on the campus of UCLA.
Yeah.
And I thought Chicago, it was a bold move to go in Chicago at that time of the year, and it all worked out because of that cool venue.
Yeah, and I tell you what, it was freezing, or it was warm the day before, and then all of a sudden a Chicago winter hit, and it was freezing when we walked out of there that last day. Strikeout from Randy Dalby, first out of the inning for Josh Wheeler as he continues to struggle with the penalty of pitching a little bit higher, but gets through that at bat. Nice hit. And that'll be a ground rule double. That'll score a run. Reed can come up easy.
Spoke too early.
Spoke too early as Vin Lee finally gets on base for his team in a big way, hitting a ground rule double. A 1-hopper over the wall. Scores Reed Warner.
Now, Sam, in the on-deck circle is Jaso.
Yep.
What are you thinking of the Lady Gaga haircut?
Connor, I only asked him once about it. I thought it looked very bright is what I told him. Haven't asked him. I need to ask him more if it was supposed to be more yellow, if it was supposed to be more blonde, or if that's the color he was going for. So we'll have to ask him after the game. That would be a great post-game interview if he can pull something off here and maybe get the winning run. That can be a follow-up question. Jordan Robles at the plate. Oh, and tag. I love how we're yelling tag when it's all base running now. It's a nice play from Steve Hayden in foul territory. Second out of the inning. As it is 1-1, ladies and gentlemen. Tie ball game here as Josh Wheeler gives up the run. Connor Jaso's All-Star. And Connor hits one right down the line to Steve Hayden for the third out.
And that's a wrap. Sam, it was a pleasure to join
Jason,
you. Good luck. You do
so
a great
much.
job. See you,
Appreciate
man.
you so much. We'll see you soon. All right, that was Jason Rose, everybody. Father of Commissioner Logan Rose in the booth. What a treat. Always love to have some color commentary with the play-by-play, and what a game we have here as we head to the top of the 5th inning. We'll be back for 5th inning action. 3 more innings to go here, folks. Thanks for joining us on the BLW live stream for BLW All Star Week. First pitch to Dustin Staggs, ball 1. Everybody on Team Jaso hit that last inning to get that run. And Dustin Staggs leads it off for the squad. Just missed that one. Reed Warner makes the play. Reed Warner, great fielder for the Green Apples, and will get a lot of fielding time this coming year in the medium pitch style. Dustin Staggs leads it off. The fly out to Reed Warner. Brody Livingston.
Good pitch, man.
The excitement of Brody Livingston and his home run back in the 3rd inning. Brody is 1 for 3 right now with his home run. Vin Lee gonna avoid that, hopefully. Oh my gosh, finger ball drop. And made Brody look silly on that one. Brody says he almost fell out of the box. I think he hopped twice before that ball even hit the zone.
Let's go, Brody. Come on.
Pitch from Vin Lee, 0-2. Knuckleball, see you later. Brody was not expecting that. Out number 2. Wow. Brody Livingston, good morning, good afternoon, good night. Strikeout looking Brody Livingston. Preston Colm now comes up to the plate. Preston Colm had a lining ground rule double that went under the fence. Hit it so hard it flapped that section of fence right underneath. It goes right under. Preston Colm, they call him PK. One of the best young players in the world right now. Just turned 18 years old. U17 always has a separate tournament, and they have a ranking system. He was always ranked at number 1. Best U17 player maybe in the history of that circuit. Now at 18, plays with the big boys. And here he is at the All-Star Game, showing he belongs. Just watch this one go by. You knew that was coming from Vin Lee.
What kind of green light is that? Preston, I don't have it. No. Wait a second. Dang it, Preston.
Preston has not gotten out all day today. Swings through that one, and that would have been ball. They got full count here now. 2 outs. Preston Colm has come onto the scene with the yellow bat. Really made a name for himself with the yellow stick. Fouls that one off. Preston Colm going to be playing a lot of wiffle ball this year. Traveling around the country, playing for a lot of different leagues. Playing a lot of different tournaments. Lines one right at Vin Lee. Vin Lee from his hiney gets the outs, falls over. Nice play from Vin Lee. 1, 2, 3. Vin Lee gets it there. Top of the order goes down for Team Tommy as Team Jaso will head to the bottom of the 5th inning, hoping to continue their offensive prowess that they showed the past couple innings. They have had at least 2 base runners 3 innings in a row. We'll see what comes of the bottom of the 5th inning with Josh Wheeler making his 2nd appearance on the mound. We'll be back for the bottom of the 5th shortly. All right, we're back for the bottom of the 5th. Reed Warner, 1-1 count here as Josh Wheeler continues his work on the mound. Reed Warner and Josh Wheeler, the lone All-Stars from their ball clubs here in this season of BLW. Steve Hayden, Dustin Staggs still over there in the shortstop position, has already proven he is the Gold Glove winner for BLW in the fast pitch realm. Made some incredible plays out there for the Scorpions. He's already making incredible plays here in the All-Star game. Reed knew it was a strike, a little late on the swing. Strikeout number 3 for Reed Warner, but he has the lone run scored for Team Jaso, so gets on at the right time. Strikeout to lead it off for Reed, and it'll bring up his Indiana brethren, Mike Whitty. If you weren't watching yesterday for the playoffs, Mike Whitty pitched an incredible gem of a game to get the Naturals into the finals tomorrow. Mike Whitty, definitely an incredible character for the game of wiffle ball. Hilarious to be around. Swings through that one, strike 2. And a player that's not known for his bat, but when you put the yellow in his hand, it becomes a lot more dangerous. Has had a lot more opportunity with the yellow. A step out from Josh Wheeler, swing and a miss from Mike Whitty, and that'll do it for the 2nd out. As Josh Wheeler looks to strike out the side here for the first time as Team Tommy throws it around out there. In the Summer League, there will not be 3 fielders out there behind the pitcher. You'll just see 2. The venue will be a little bit smaller than what we have here as a knuckleball just slides right out of the zone for ball 1 to Randy Dalby. Randy Dalby, your leadoff hitter today. He's been on base 3 times. Struck out his last at-bat, but been on base for Team Jaso here. Done his job as the leadoff guy. 2-0 count. Two to Randy Dalby. 5th inning here at the Miracle League of Arizona. Scottsdale, a swing and a miss from Randy Dalby. Dustin Staggs waiting for another ground ball for himself. Brody Livingston ready to go in center field. Another swing and a miss. 72 miles an hour. Seems like Josh Wheeler has really found his niche here. I'm sure his Philadelphia Wiffle Club members are cheering him on. Back in St. Louis and in Illinois as well. A step out again. Ground ball. Here we go. We get to see Staggs happen. A nice throw across the diamond, but just off. As you all know, it is hard to throw a wiffle ball, especially with not a lot of time to do it. You have to have the holes in the right spot, and you have to know exactly what the cut is to make the throw. Staggs looked like he got that one not in the right spot. Made a little bit off of a throw, but Randy Dalby on for the 4th time today. We call that one a single. Strike 1 to Vin Lee now, the runner on first. Let's see how it goes here with Josh Wheeler looking to get out of this inning. He had the first 2 strikeouts back-to-back, but then the radar gun we used is a pocket radar, and it was very quick. You have to be paying attention super fast because right after the pitch it happens. 70 miles an hour, but fouled off by Vin Lee. Jason Rose using Vin Lee as an adjective or a verb. It's something you really could do. And I hope it sticks, honestly. Pitch from Josh Wheeler low. Never mind. I was standing and must have missed the bottom of the zone. What a pitch from Josh Wheeler at 70 miles an hour. And Josh, with 3 strikeouts in the inning, gets out of it. And we got ourselves a ball game, folks. I mean, we're headed to the top of the 6th inning. 1-1 tied here for the BLW All Star Game. Stay tuned for 6th inning. Sixth inning to go. No warm-ups for Vin Lee as a swing and a miss from Josh Wheeler. Josh Wheeler just struck out all 3 outs for him in the last inning with a lone walk in between. Swing and a miss again. Josh Wheeler looking to do some damage as he did in his last at-bat. Moved Preston Colm over to third base, but they could not score the run. Pitch from Vin Lee. Josh Wheeler holds. It's a gentleman's game here in wiffle ball, and there's no umpires in BLW, so it's a lot of gentlemen's agreements. Really gotta, and if a fielder makes a great play, you almost got to give it to the fielder as an out, but in that case, it's the call of the fielding team to make a check swing call. We got a 2-2 count here to Josh Wheeler. Josh Wheeler has a, I like his batting stance. If you can see it in the video, folks, his back foot almost winds up. You know, watch him wind up. He's and then it goes. He winds up his back foot. He says that helps him reset. He forgets he has to base run and walks on over after that. Josh Wheeler has just gotten into the game of wiffle ball. It's his first year of competitive wiffle ball, and he already is an all-star in BLW. Been playing a lot of fast pitch, so not a lot of base running there. So forgot that he had to run. He'll be on first base, though, nonetheless. Steve Hayden starts off 2-0. Vin Lee had Josh Wheeler 0-2 also, so Josh Wheeler really worked that one back.
Good.
3-0 now to Stephen Hayden. This is not where Vin Lee wants to be right now. 3-0 count to the second batter, already a walk. Steve Hayden, though, is not. And see you later! Steve Hayden goes deep at the Miracle League of Arizona. Hits the very center of center field out in the sign there, right under the Steve Pearson sign. Congratulations, Steve Hayden. Look at the smile on Big Sexy's face here. Touches home plate, and big one from Stagg. Scores the run. Unbelievable, folks. It is 3-1 in the 6th inning. That is not how Vin Lee wanted that one to go there. Let's see if we can reset here. Tommy Hernandez, can that swing around? But no, Connor Jaso doing his best Derek Jeter impression here. What a shot. Straight to center from Stephen Hayden. And as you can see in center, folks, that fence is kind of drooping right in center where it just snuck over the wall. Steve Hayden takes advantage. I think the Oreo socks gave him the power. The only thing for his socks that could make it better is mismatched, and one of them would have been a Nutter Butter sock, in my opinion. Tommy Hernandez, captain of Team Tommy, clearly. Tommy Hernandez skies one high, straight to Jordan Robles. for the catch. First out of the inning. Much needed for Vin Lee here.
Oh. Thank you.
Come on, Dustin. Start something, kid.
Dustin Staggs, top of the order for Team Tommy. Knuckleball from Vin Lee. Ball 1. Another screwball, or another knuckleball, excuse me. This time Dustin Staggs just he just has to laugh at that one. I mean, that was absolutely gross. You're going to see a lot more, and another knuckleball hits the zone right past Dustin again. I feel like you're going to see a lot more knuckleballs this season, and it's going to be fun to watch. People are going to pull them out all the time. They're going to pull them out every once in a while. On the East Coast, you see a lot of knuckleball pitchers, and Vin Lee being from New York, you know he has one in the back pocket. He can use that and establish dominance pretty early, and then pairs it with that riser. Riser pitch at 74, though. All the riser pitchers in the league have to be careful because that is the one pitch out of the hand that the radar gun will pick up the most. 74 again. He's hovering close. If the league decides to go with 72 miles an hour, that will be too much. And almost the way I'm looking at this, I almost feel like 72 might be the goal. 73 maybe? Another knuckleball outside. 75 would still be good, but you're going to see that same quick pitching that you're seeing here. It'd be interesting to see how pitchers can adapt and change to a lower speed limit, like a 73 or 72. Drop ball. Brody Livingston gets it. Tacos the ball. Reed cannot make the play.
Hey, keep it going for the team. Let's get a chance to hit more.
Brody Livingston with a nice single. Tacos that ball. And in this heat, you got to believe those tacos are coming out in storm. Yo quiero Taco Bell indeed. Up high for Preston Colm for ball 1. Preston Colm now up to the plate. 3 for 4 so far in this All-Star game. Fouls it off there.
Okay, stay hot. Have some fun.
Love the uniforms out here. Seeing all the players in their uniforms. Almost like a 90s NBA All-Star game. That was low.
Yeah. Hey, good pitch. Hey, get out.
2-1 count here. Vin Lee to Preston Colm.
Attaboy.
77. Wouldn't have mattered. Ball 3 on that one. And again, those risers and sliders are going to be tricky for pitchers to adjust to depending on what the final speed limit will be for the Summer League. That one way too quick.
Boy.
74 hovering, and that'll be a walk. Preston Colm on again. That kid can do it all. On for the team after the 2-run home run. Josh Wheeler back up again for his team. The first time the team has batted all the way through, and somebody's batted twice in an inning. Strike 1, 73. Just misses that one up high. Brody Livingston out at second base there. Preston Colm over at first base. Josh Wheeler would like to make another. 75, right on the money. Vin Lee flirting with it. And with it being so much closer, folks, and with that yellow bat, it's a lot harder to hit than you think with this speed limit. Tips the side. Josh Wheeler just can shake his head at that point, and that'll do it for the inning. Vin Lee is glad to get out of that one. Bottom of the 6th. Last call for Team Jaso before we break out the big guns, so to speak. As the big barrel bats will come out in the 7th inning. You know Wheeler would like to shut it down for Team Tommy before those big barrel bats come into play. Coming up will be Jordan Robles, Connor Jaso, and Reed Warner. 3 players that Josh Wheeler, I know, could be intimidated by, but I know Josh Wheeler also is ready for anything in his first year of competitive wiffle ball, already an all-star for BLW If I know Josh, I know that he would trade his All-Star for a Philadelphia Wiffle Club playoff appearance, and I know they are going to come hungry, ready to go for the draft on April 11th, and ready to retool and head out to the field for the Wiffle Club to make a splash in this medium pitch style. Jordan Robles, they call him Jumpman. He would like to jumpstart this offense right now. Bottom of the 6th. Just 6 more outs for Team Jaso to make a comeback here. Fouls that one off. 2-2 count. As always, thank you for joining us on the live stream for BLW YouTube. Full count here now for Jordan Robles. I'd say arguably, but I don't think it is, but probably the most famous wiffle ball player in the world. Tipped it. Oh my goodness. Jordan knows he did. So the same thing that just happened to Josh Wheeler when Vin was pitching happens to Vin's teammate Jordan Robles, and they throw it around out there. Team Tommy having a lot of fun. Josh Wheeler looking strong as the should-be ace for the Philadelphia Wiffle Club in this style coming up this summer. Connor Jaso, ball 1. MVP of BLW in the fast pitch realm, and it's going to be exciting to see how he transitions into this medium style. Swings at that one. Such a great contact hitter, and Brody Livingston with the rare miss there. He is shaking his head. He knows he missed that one. Didn't get his hiney quite down as much as he needed to make that play. Comes up a little early, and Connor Jaso on first base. We're giving him the single, though, as that was hard hit ball into the outfield. Would have been a tough play no matter what to get it off. Reed with a big swing. Strike 1. Reed Warner, the run scored for this Team Jaso. The lone run scored. There it is. Reed Warner smacks one, hits the wall. That is the experience this team did. And look at Reed, the base running knowledge of the Indiana Yellow Bat team. I mean, that is just the knowledge that you need. Got to get to the pitcher to keep it a dead ball. And that's another note that I think we have to make as a front office, as a league officials, kind of have to make note of that. When is it a dead ball? Pitcher? Does that happen? Or you just play it out? What's it going to be? But Reed Warner with a huge, I guess you could say, single with an error, a throwing error, as they had to get on second somehow. So Reed moves the runner to third. Mike Whitty up in a huge spot for this team as he swings not very well at that one. And he knows it. He's merry-go-rounding himself as he walks over. This is the excitement piece of this style that is just amazing to watch. I mean, you have a situation like this, and I know it's the All-Star Game, but can you imagine this in an intense playoff game in the new style when you have a good pitcher facing off against a team? And it was a nice pitch from Josh Wheeler, one of the best players in the country, two-way players, Randy Dalby coming up in the leadoff hitter for Team Jaso. Runner on second and third. We got 2 outs here. This is the 6th inning. This is a spot you love to see from a league perspective. A little step out right by. Huge. Is Reed going? They're sending him. And here comes the throw. Not able to tie ball game. Randy Dalby. Huge hit for the oldest player in the All-Star Game. Right underneath Dustin Staggs. A rocket to the wall. 3-3 tie ball game here at Miracle League of Arizona. Wow. This is the excitement we look for, folks, when you have wiffle ball. And the excitement that you will see this summer for BLW. Make sure you stay tuned in. Right back at him. Josh tries to handle up, and no, it'll be a single for Vin Lee. And the excitement continues. It is palpable here in Scottsdale, Arizona. Things are happening so fast, I can't even keep up on the score sheet, folks. What a play from Randy Dalby. A huge hit in a huge spot. This is the action we were hoping for, and we are getting it. Josh Wheeler wanting to get out of this inning. A nice pitch, 72 miles an hour for Josh Wheeler. And this is the perfect action. This is the perfect amount, in my opinion. Having these 3-3 ball games is going to be the right amount of pitching for wiffle ball. The 75-mile-an-hour limit, you're getting to see some incredible movement out of these amazing pitchers. So much experience. You're still getting that nostalgic yellow bat. You're getting the base running. You know what's going on just by watching this live stream. BLW's doing it right, folks. 1-2 count here. 2 outs to Jordan Robles. Let's see what Jumpman can do here for Team Jaso. Tied 3-3. Pitch. Step out. He could have offered at it. Josh Wheeler trying to throw off some eye levels of Jordan Robles, but I can tell you Jordan has seen it all. Nice fight off, fouls it off. It almost sounded like it hit the zone. Hit the bottom leg of the zone anyway, foul ball. Josh Wheeler, big number 33 for the Philadelphia Wiffle Ball Club. Brody Livingston, Josh Wheeler out there talking. Both live in Missouri. Good friends, practice a lot together for all the different styles that they play throughout their season. Pitch from Josh, nice pitch. Down the line, it's going to be foul ball. Josh collects it foul. 2-2 still is your count as Jordan Robles fights off 2 foul balls. Back-to-back innings that both teams have batted completely around and gotten a second at-bat for their leadoff guy from that inning. Same exact thing. I mean, these teams are neck and neck, back and forth action. Ground ball, this time to Josh, but he muffs it. Oh my gosh, that is 2 ground balls this inning for Team Tommy. It's hot out there, folks, and Josh Wheeler even said it himself before this game. As Tommy Hernandez, captain, calls a timeout. Should bring his pitcher some water. What's this captain doing out there? Ground ball, couldn't get low enough to get it. Bases are loaded, and that's going to be the first error that I give in the book. Not going to lie to you, folks. That was going to be an out. But an error in the books, it's always the scorekeeper's call, so there it is. First error of the game. Jordan Robles on, and look who's up. Swings through it. MVP Connor Jaso. Bases chucked. A lot of speed at second. A lot of speed at first. Not a lot of speed at third, but that won't matter. It's only 45 feet away. Oh, and it smoked. This could be it. Could he throw home? And he pegs him. Our first peg. Josh Wheeler. What a play. Makes up for it. Keeps the game tied. Again, you can't say enough about the action of this game. This game moves so fast. 6 innings in the books, and folks, we are going to be back for the top of the 7th inning. The final inning tied 3-3. Who knows? We might go to extras. Thanks for joining us on the live stream BLW All Star Game. All right, folks, and here we go. The change for this inning is going to be 78 miles an hour, and we're back to big barrel bats. So you're going to see a lot of different bats coming out. The first 3 hitters, I believe, are going to be going Wadabat, Moonshot maybe, and a Nerf around here. So we're going to be hitting across the board, a lot of different bats, a lot of different mods that we have. Kind of Jaso coming back out. Kind of Jaso, actually a competitive fast-pitch softball player as well. Travels around the country to play competitive fast-pitch softball, and he is one of the most important players. He plays shortstop and pitcher for his competitive team. So definitely out there in the shortstop position now. First pitch from Randy Dalby, the most experienced player out here. Big cut, 75 miles an hour on the slider here. Steve Hayden up to the plate. Big cut from Big Sexy. 0-2 here. Steve Hayden right now, one of 2 home runs for Team Tommy, and a big spot for him too. Looks to knuckleball from Randy Dalby. First one. I guess he had some room to spare there, being 0-2. Everybody's looking for that coveted All-Star Game MVP, and I tell you what, if Steve Hayden hits a home run here, he could definitely make that his biggest case, and he had a great job on the mound as well. Got out of every inning for his team too, so Steve Hayden made a case for it. A lot of players you could see. Preston Coleman having a great game hitting for this team as well. Into the zone it goes. Strike 3, out number 1. Randy Dalby, welcome to the All-Star Game mound. Randy Dalby pitched yesterday for the Boston Harbor Hawks. Boston Harbor Hawks defeated the Dallas Pandas in the first round and then lose to the Los Angeles Naturals in the second round. Got to pitch in both games himself. I know he's probably feeling it. Right when he got to the park this morning, he said, "I am sore." That's the first thing he said. Wow, he throws 70 miles an hour? 70 miles an hour. Hits Tommy Hernandez.
This is pretty insane, this view.
That's awesome. That's great. Pitch to Tommy Hernandez now. Swing and a miss. Tommy wants that one back. You can already see it in his face. These big barrel bats are comfortable in a lot of these players' hands. We might see a little more offense. That's why we raised the speed 3 miles an hour for this inning. It's going to be interesting what we do for extras if we even go there. A knuckleball almost hit the zone. It is nasty. And even if you can tell that he's throwing a knuckleball out of his hand, because you can tell he kind of pushed it more, it doesn't matter. The knuckleball moves with its own mind. Even Randy Dalby couldn't tell you where it was going. Fouls it off. Tommy Hernandez, 2-2 count. The lone Miami Mirage player. Miami Mirage and the Philadelphia Wiffle Ball Club are the 2 teams represented in the All-Star Game that were not represented in the playoffs. So Tommy and Josh Wheeler both getting the trip out to Scottsdale. Brings us to a full count. Tommy Hernandez, though, obviously being the second most vote getter for the All-Star Game. You knew he was making his trip after his incredible 2 tournaments, catapulted him to the top of the voting leaderboards, and just his personality. Larger than life is Tommy Hernandez, one of the best hitters in the country, but also one of the best people in the country. Can't ask for more. Full count now here to Tommy Hernandez. Randy Dalby would like to get the first 2 batters out here. Ground ball. Randy's going to keep that foul. Yeah, I think there's going to have to be some type of bunt line or cheap line in the future. I know there's been some talk already in the booth about it. So expect that in the future. Especially when a pitcher's coming off and has to throw it to first base. You got to give the pitcher a little bit of time. Ball cannot be hit like a bunt. Tommy Hernandez gets all of that one, though, on the drop ball. Let's see what Connor can do. And a nice play, but just out of the reach of the tall Reed Warner and goes out of play into the dugout. An unfortunate throwing error there from Connor Jaso. will.
Oh, guess I got this.
Tommy Hernandez gets the single, but gets on second from the throwing error from Connor Jaso. It's hard to call it a throwing error, unfortunately, due to the holes in the ball and how you throw them, but at the same time, you have to give him an error because he got second base. If it would have stayed in play, I wouldn't have given him an error. But the fact that he got the extra base, you have to give him the error in the book. So, Tommy on second base. 1 out. Dustin Staggs sporting the moonshot. Pitch from Randy. Knuckleball. Let's see if Dustin can hit it one more time, baby. Oh, and he does indeed, and that's what he did. And a ground rule double. You hate to see a ground rule double go under the fence. And because that's not the fielder's fault, and it should be the fence's fault. In a league I play in, we call that a ground rule single because it would have been a single no matter what. There's no way he would have got a double out of that. It's not the player's fault. It's the fence's fault. 4-3 though your score is. No rule was given about that as Dustin with a ground rule double scores the run. Brody Livingston now up to the plate, also hitting with the moonshot. 1 out. 4-3. While this game somewhat deserves to go to extras, you also just want it to end with dignity and regulation. Brody hits one right to Reed. Can Reed beat him there? Ooh, I think I'd call him out there.
I got it on here.
Looked like an out. Beat him by a step.
Do they want
Out of the booth if they ever ask. Brody knows, though. Gentleman's game. 3 unassisted, but moves the runner over to third, so 45 feet away. Replay review reveals that it was an out indeed. So the right call on the field. Brody Livingston knew it. Preston Colm now up. Preston Colm is 2 for 3 with 2 walks also. Jeez. 71 miles an hour there from Randy Dalby. Preston still believes. Pitch to Preston. Same pitch. This time just a little bit lower. Preston a single, a double, and 2 walks. Hasn't scored for his team yet. And his only out so far was a ground out to the pitcher that was hard hit. So definitely seeing the ball well. You almost want to put a yellow in Preston's hands. His hands are a lot quicker with a yellow. But he goes to the big barrel and strikes up because of it. So that'll do it for the top of the 7th inning, but not before Team Tommy gets a ground rule double from Dustin Staggs and takes the lead over Team Jaso. Team Jaso got 3 outs to prove themselves to either tie this game or take the victory. Leading off for the team will be Connor Jaso. Excuse me. Reed, I believe. Reed Whitty Dalby as Jaso grounded out in that incredible play from Wheeler to throw out Dalby. Fielder's choice. We'll see Reed Warner, we'll see Mike Whitty, and then we'll see Randy Dalby for Team Jaso when we come back. And look who's coming to the mound, folks. Captain himself, Tommy Hernandez. Win or lose, the captain is going down with the ship, or he's going to ride it himself. So here we go. Save situation for Captain Tommy Hernandez. Tommy of the Miami Mirage had a great season. Miami Mirage were the first team out in playoffs, just missing the cut. They really needed a playoff appearance in Dallas to punch a ticket, and just missed the cut there too. Tough draw for them in Dallas that catapulted them into a couple losses that couldn't quite get over the hump, but it's definitely a team that you know is going to return hungrier than ever. They have the 4th pick in the draft this year. Bring that graphic back up for you. Saturday, April 11th. Tune in right here again to BLW YouTube as Tommy almost hits me in the face. Scottsdale, Arizona we'll have the draft. There'll be 2 rounds. Over 150 players across the country apply to be a part of the draft, and the draft class was narrowed down to a large field that these players can choose from based on availability and things like that. And we are very excited to see what happens with those picks in those 2 rounds. More information to come out about the draft shortly as the draft order will be announced, and we cannot wait for that first overall pick. Who will go to the San Diego Orcas as they look to retool and revamp for next season? Medium pitch in the summer, fast pitch in the winter months. Join us on live on YouTube April 11th for BLW Draft. Honestly, for me, I think the BLW Draft is going to be one of the most exciting wiffle ball events in the history of the sport. I don't think there's ever been a draft ever quite like this, and it is something that I think most of the wiffle ball world is super excited to see play out and could go in any direction, not only for the first overall pick, but every single pick afterwards. I would even argue to say that Mel Kiper Jr. could not do enough research to figure out who was going to get picked by these teams.
Wow.
Tommy Hernandez is not known as much for his pitching. He will tell you otherwise. He will tell you he's one of the best. But at the plate, Tommy Hernandez is so fantastic that you almost forget that he can pitch too. 8 some innings for Miami Mirage when needed in pool play. Came in relief in the bracket play as well. I'll tell you what, they got some good fielders out there backing him up. 78 miles an hour Tommy will get to throw. Last one was 77. That was 79. He's trying to feel it out here. Forgot to jump the microphone. That was 79 as well. He's taking his time warming up, trying to figure out where that speed is. 79 again. And again, those slider risers, I tell you what, folks, every pitcher, in my opinion, has to have something other than a slider or a riser if you're going to do speed limit pitching. Speed limit pitching is so important to have that secondary pitch, knuckleball or a drop ball that's not going to read as much. Out of the hand, this pocket radar is what we use for speed guns across the wiffle world, and it's definitely going to pick up out of the hand those risers and sliders a little bit different than it would a higher drop ball release, screwball release, etc. You saw him throw a straight ball there and it went 75 even though it looked just as high. Again, it's just how it comes off of its hand. And we're back, bottom of the 7th, folks. Reed Warner to lead it off. Sees a little finger ball from Tommy to start it off there. Strike 1. Tommy gets the pleasure of having 78 miles an hour, so he doesn't really have to change too much. He's a mid-80s pitcher. Kind of throws back a little bit, hold his arm back. Reed Warner, though, with the big barrel bat, has proven that he can be successful. Has hit a home run in the first 3 tournaments for the Green Apples. Had a huge hit in the semifinal matchup against Vegas, but Green Apples could not capitalize. Wow, great eye there. 1-2 count. Pitch to Reed Warner, 2 strikes on him here. Drop ball, not what Tommy wanted to happen. Reed would love to set the table. He's been the leadoff hitter for the Green Apples all season long. And he leads it off here. He's going to beat that one out. He's the lefty. Play to Tommy and safe. The speed from Reed Warner, the base running ability of Reed Warner. He is, in my opinion, the best base runner here in the field right now. His knowledge of base running at a high level. And you could say Dustin Staggs, you could say a few other players, but in my opinion, Reed Warner has that elite knowledge of base running and knew he could run that out himself. Runner on first, ball 1 here as the pressure mounts for Tommy. He needs this out. Mike Whitty in the bottom spot of the order needs the out here. Nice pitch there from Tommy Hernandez. Gets the tip of the zone. Reed Warner's the guy you want on base. A lot of length out there, a lot of speed. Ball 2 for Mike Whitty. And if you can get Reed Warner and Mike Whitty on the base paths, they are in for it. I mean, the winning run is at the plate right now, folks. Ball up. And now you're, with a walk, you would move the winning run just 45 feet closer.
Come on, Tommy.
And there it is, folks. A walk. First and second we go. Tommy Hernandez takes a little walk, relaxing himself. They still have some options here, folks. I mean, you have Preston Colm that can come into this game. Trying to think who their other person is that they can go with.
Come on, Tommy. This is the guy we want. This is the guy we want. Come on, Reed.
Oh, Dustin Staggs, who he's hugging right now. Dustin Staggs has experience in this as well. Randy Dalby now up from the Boston Harbor Hawks. Swings straight through the top. Randy's a tall guy, and that zone's lower. Usually your zone is supposed to be at your chest. That zone for him is below his chest, so he swings at that one. Yeah, he knows. It was right at his chest. In baseball, that would have been a strike, but swings through that one. And that one low for Dalby. I mean, that's just tough when you're a tall guy like that. First and second, 0-2. Tommy needs this out here. Take the pressure off a little bit. You see all of the Las Vegas Scorpions out there as his fielding backup. 3 incredible fielders. That team has played together many different tournaments, styles, obviously on the same team in BLW. Pitch from Tommy, swing, and that'll be a big out for Tommy Hernandez. Huge out, definitely needed that. Randy just missed that one. Out number 1 in the game. Holds Reed, holds Mike Whitty, and Vin Lee is up. Yelling tag like tags are still a thing. Another out, and it comes down to this, folks. Last at bat possibly of the game. This is where it gets fun. And look who's up, Mr. Jumpman himself. Jordan Robles swings through a finger drop ball. Exciting here to end this All-Star game with a runner in scoring position. Back-to-back flyouts. Drop ball through the middle. It'll be second. What's going to happen here? Makes the play, and that's an out. Ends the game on a nice play from Preston Colm. That'll do it for us here at the All-Star Game at the Miracle League of Arizona in Scottsdale, Arizona. Game ends in a 4-3 win. Tommy Hernandez team comes out on top against the MVP Connor Jaso's team. What an event, folks. Thank you for joining us on the live stream. We will not be live streaming the Home Run Derby, unfortunately, but you will see that on social media later on. Thank you so much for joining us on the live stream for the All-Star Game here in Scottsdale, Arizona. We are so excited to bring you the draft on April 11th. That's the next time you'll see us on YouTube. Once again, all of our viewers, thank you for an incredible season of BLW Wiffle Ball. We'll be back tomorrow for the World Series.